Time now for the Recurve men's semi-final matchup between Brady Ellison of the USA and Marcus de Almeida of Brazil.
Shooting on target number 1, representing the United States of America, Brady Ellison. Shooting on target number 2, representing Brazil, Marcus de Almeida.
Well, no pressure really on the 23-year-old world number 20 from Brazil. The red-hot favourite for this will be world number 1, Brady Ellison. But that comes with some weight of expectation, especially on home soil. Marcus de Almeida, to some extent, has absolutely nothing to lose here. It will be the Brazilian to get this semi-final underway, a place in the gold medal match up for grabs. And looking how important is that start from the pair of them.
It's going to give you a lot of confidence. Start off with that 10, but he's just found it now.
Didn't look like Ellison made any adjustments there. 28 for the Brazilian. Ellison can take both of the set points here. Needs a 10 to do that. Pushes it into a 9, so 28 for Ellison. He didn't. Well, he didn't make any massive changes there, but he said something to his coach. I'm not sure what it was. Was he saying that he couldn't see that the wind was going to have an effect at the end of the range?
Yeah, that's the only guess I can have at the moment. Conditions are changing a little bit, but it doesn't look too bad. Right, the other factor is just the sun, which, you know, is coming down into their eyes there, but he is checking something, isn't he? Whether that is the sun and, you know, maybe the string picture. So the recurvers use that string as their back sight. They line it up against the bow, and I think he's just double checking what he can see.
I think you may be right. I think he said, I don't think I couldn't even see that.
Yeah, the problem is with recurvers, you know, look at his hat. Because of the angle of the string, you can't actually bring your hat that low over your eyes. So obviously the Koreans, a lot of the women especially, wear those kind of bucket hats, which you can really get close to your eyes, but it's such a struggle with a baseball cap.
Well, we're all square here. Ellison, well, number 1, struggling with the sun in his eyes. The Brazilian not really having the same problems, even though he's standing right next to him. But it will be Marcus de Almeida to shoot first in the second set.
Straight in the middle. Marcus, a right-handed archer, aiming his right eye. It looks to be a bit more in shade.
Good view of the arc. The arrow goes through on its way to the target. Looks like Ellison may well be using the force here. Sun hasn't moved very much, but a perfect from de Almeida. Clearly nothing to lose for the Brazilian. He's going to get at least 1 point here. Pressure on the American, and it is just 1 point, but only just 2 perfects from the pair of them, and we're at 2-2. I'm not sure we expected this, did we?
This is great shooting. Yeah, it has to be said, Marcus is the underdog here. But wow, he's stepping up to it, isn't he? And like you said, maybe the pressure's off. He hasn't got any expectations. He's not supposed to win this match, but wow, that can be a really powerful position to be in.
Confirmation of the scores there, 10-10-10. Get a look at De Almeida's arrow flying high and then dropping right into the centre of the target. Time for set number 3 here in this very intriguing semi-final matchup between the world number 1 Brady Ellison from the United States and Marcos de Almeida of Brazil, who is keeping the American honest. 2 apiece. De Almeida to shoot first.
And a little bit quizzical on that one. See those flags in the background moving around again. Overcompensated maybe. Brady's in that zone now, isn't he? He knows where to aim.
Trouble ahead here for De Almeida. Quick shot, and that's gone into the 8 as well. Well, what a curious third set for him. A 25 after a 30. Perfect in the second. And this is going to go to Ellison, who puts it into the 9. Doesn't quite get the perfect himself, but does go 4-2 up. Critical change of fortune there. And Nikki, what on earth happened to De Almeida?
He looked pretty puzzled, didn't he? You know, left and right is the issue. So whether it is a wind condition, whether it is a string picture issue that we talked about, same as Brady in terms of that sun coming down and what they're able to see. So they line up the string with either the bow, or some people go onto the sight as well. So you know, that image changes as the light hits it. So that might be a factor.
We'll take a look back at Ellison's solid performance in that third set, compared with the struggle that De Almeida had, and perhaps it is that light, isn't it? Perhaps it is that Ellison was just getting it. It's sort of coming not quite directly down over them, it's coming across them from left to right, the sun, and maybe just moved out of Ellison's eye line, which caused them problems earlier on, and now has caused a problem for De Almeida. 4-2 down, the Brazilian will shoot first in set number 4.
I saw a little movement of that front arm though. He wasn't happy with it. Tried to move it across a little bit.
Quick shot from the Brazilian. Not the usual killer instinct from Brady Ellison here. He's opened this one up at 29 for Marcos de Almeida is enough for him to draw a level. This is incredibly strange. I've got to say, I mean, it was strange to see De Almeida go from a 30 to a 25. Perhaps even stranger to see Brady Ellison go from 30-29 to a 26, and that 8, very strange.
Yeah, it just looked a little bit plucky. You can see his fingers on that release, just a little bit different from normal, not his normal kind of nice follow-through smoothness that we normally see. So just imagine what's going on in his brain right now. He's trying probably as hard as he can not to think about just completing this now to get to the final, but he's got to keep his brain on track. And I thought he was going to upset himself in that first end about the light and going back on the line and checking what he could see. Then he got over that, but just having another blip.
Just looking just a little bit more concerned than we normally see. Normally he's got some, winning blood pumping through his veins. He looks like he's aware. His chest is puffed up. He's ready to go. There just looks to be something slightly different. A hangover from the Tokyo Games, perhaps the situation.
Just holding his breath again there, wasn't he? Checking the light.
Start of the fifth of this intriguing battle between De Almeida and Ellison for a place in the final of the World Championships of 2021. De Almeida trying a bit of bow quando there himself, throws it into the 8 at the start, and the door potentially opens for Ellison.
His reaction from Marcus said it all. He just knows how important that first arrow was on this set, but it's now only a point difference. All level.
It doesn't matter how you get there. They're both on 18. It's coming down to this final arrow. On the line for a 10 and a 28. So now an immense amount of pressure on Ellison here. He needs a 10 to force a shoot off. He's put it in the 9. A 27 from the world #1 means that Marcus De Almeida, well, the grin says it all. He has beaten the world #1 and the man here to defend his title. Ellison was on course for making history to become the first man to ever defend the Recurve men's individual title, but a rank outsider, you have to say. You never would have put Marcus De Almeida in the final here a few days ago, but he's had the performance of his life against Brady Ellison, the world #1, and he will shoot for gold here in Yankton. Incredible performance from the Brazilian. He kept Ellison honest throughout, and even when he had a very tricky third set, he managed to pull himself back together, draw level going into the 5th, and in the end, an 8 meant nothing in his first arrows. He banged in 2 10s to beat Ellison's 3 9s.